Hey everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn. On this episode, I'm joined by legendary guitarist and vocalist Mark Farner, and he'll talk all about his new DVD that's coming out, From Chile with Love. He'll share some great stories about his career, as well as a collaboration that he's working on that I think might surprise some of you. Alrighty, let's jump in and let's get started. Joining me, legendary guitarist and vocalist Mark Farner is with me today. So, how's everything been, Mark? Are you healthy and doing well during these crazy times?
Yeah, things went different on us. Things
Just
went
a
a
little.
little, yeah, that life threw us a curve. So we planted a garden. My wife Lisa and I, we've been married 43 years, and we planted the best garden of our marriage, dude. We could attend to it, you know, and it was good for us to get down on our hands and knees in the dirt and thank God for our life here. It's so short, just a blink.
Isn't
You know,
that true?
it
Isn't
comes
that
to it.
true?
Yeah, bro.
Yep. No, definitely the last year I think has made a lot of people kind of reevaluate things and do things a little bit differently than they planned to originally. But sometimes that could be okay, I guess.
Yeah, but it it's those changes that we're not ready for that are forced upon us because we are indebted to this change. It feels like we're given into this change, and there's a lot of people that don't go along with it, and there's a lot of people don't understand it, but they push it anyways. Just be,
So true.
it's crazy stuff, and it all started back when the deregulation of the FCC took place in 1996, because before that there was a 777 rule. You could own 7 a.m., 7 FM, 7 television stations, which kept it in the hands of U.S. families, patriotic families that had a moral conscience over what our children saw and heard. That conscience is gone, brother. It's gone.
It's definitely a very different world the last 30, 40 years, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, but you know what? On the plus side, you've got a new DVD coming out in a week.
Yeah.
From Chile with Love. So let's talk about that a little bit, right? I think this was originally supposed to be out a couple months ago and then was delayed, understandably so, because of the pandemic, right? So how hard has it been trying to get production done on a DVD during times like this?
It has been tedious to say the least, Mike, because I had told a bunch of people, had done some interviews, told people that it was coming,
Yep.
and it didn't come. Oh my God, I did. So finally, now that we've got a good Ingram company behind us, and the people that we work with they're honest, they're on the up and up, and they actually enjoy my music, and they want to see me prosper from my music. With what I got left, whatever I got left, I'm giving it to love, man, and it's going to come out in my music.
That is awesome. So obviously you've had a very long, successful career. For anybody who might not know who's watching this, when was this concert filmed?
It was a couple of years ago in Santiago, Chile, and it has 16 performance tracks. There are 2 bonus videos, one of which is available right now at markfarner.com for a free download if anybody wants to check that out. and it is taken from the DVD from Chile with Love. It is from this performance, but it's rock and roll soul, and it's done Americana. And you can't believe, I mean, this is, I really love the actors and actresses in this, and the fact that it is shot in Chile, and people are it's gonna blow their mind. They're gonna think, no, that's California, or that's, that's the US. But it's the love that they have and the respect that they have for us, because of the country, because of what we have been throughout the ages, and we've been a beacon of hope. So that's in the audience participation, the love that we get from the audience. And there are 5 bonus tracks on this DVD that have never been out before. So it's for $14.99, dude. What a deal.
Right, absolutely. That's pretty much the cost of a regular CD these days. You're getting a DVD, you're getting a couple of videos, you're getting 5 bonus tracks. It's a bargain.
Right on. And $3 from each sale goes to Veterans Support Foundation.
That's awesome.
And they supply transitional housing for veterans. They help veterans integrate back into society. They pick up veterans off the street, brother, and get them in a house, get them job training, get them on the job, some self-esteem, get them back involved on the positive side. And I love these guys because I've been working with them since the 70s, dude, and they are real. Keith King is the head of this outfit, Vietnam Veterans of America. And I love these guys because they're veterans. They don't allow any red tape in there to mess with them because they know what it's like. So they want to be the ones taking the good news to our brothers and sisters who are returning from the war zones. And so I thank all the people that would buy a pre-sale on my DVD that's coming out April the 6th. And thank you for helping us support our brothers and sisters, and they need it.
So not only is it a great price, but $3 of every sale is going to a great cause. And if that's not enough, I think if you pre-order on your site, aren't you also offering signed copies of it?
Yes, absolutely. It's even a better deal. I think I might
go. There's really no excuse if you're a Mark Farner fan why you wouldn't pre-order this. And it's a great price, a great product, and great cause. Yeah, I want to mention, kind of going back to performing and recording this in Santiago, right? So how is it different for you performing in front of international crowds compared to American crowds?
Well, the excitement level in that theater, Teatro Caupolicán, is because it's in the round, and I look out, I look down, I see fans. I'm not very far from anybody, not like a football stadium or something, but it's nice because they're all stacked up and everybody's like looking at you and taking pictures and stuff. And then when the music starts, dude, it's like there's thing, are you ready? I mean, they are hitting it. Yeah. And I'm like, it shocked me when I first heard it because it was louder than the PA. It was so good. And when they sang Heartbreaker with me, and I'm getting closer to home, I mean, Lord have mercy. This DVD captures the essence of the relationship that we have with our Chilean brothers and sisters. Because when I show up on stage down there, Brother Mike, I am who my songs say I am.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So, like I said before, you've had a long career, 16 live tracks. How do you pick and choose what songs you're going to put in your set list when you're performing live?
Well, we polled our audience with the internet, have the advantage. And we ask them to, send in the 10 songs that they'd like to hear in the set list. And we just started using that as a base. Awesome. and adding and, but using that, we know that these are people that are concerned enough to respond. We had like 2,700 people that responded. And so we had a good base to to pick from and to build our set.
That's awesome. Now the 5 bonus tracks, these are new songs, right? These are not like just extra live tracks. These are brand new songs for you.
That's right. And the bonus video, the other bonus video is titled Never and Always.
Yep.
And that is one of these tracks. It's a new song. It's recorded in a different tuning standard. In in America, we play everything in A440.
Okay.
Well, I'm doing this in A432. It's check it out. Do a little search on that, A432 versus A440, and you will be amazed at what you find out. It's very compatible with everything. And I've been using it for the past 7 years. So I'm really comfortable with it, and people seem to really like it. And I even got the guys on a Happy Together tour to tune to 432, and everybody liked it. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, spoken about the guys. So who's in your band right now during the live show? And let's give them some credit also, because it's obviously you in the front and center, but you need a band to help support you with this.
Yes, on the DVD, on keyboards, we have Carl Probst. He's a Michigan boy, and he passed away since this DVD. But his spirit is all over, and his voice is all over. He plays the hell out of that keyboard. What a great guy. We really miss him. But Dennis Bellinger, who was with Grand Funk for 1981, 1982, played bass. And we have Hubert Crawford, the H-Bomb, on the drums. And he's from Memphis, Tennessee. He played with James Brown. He played with the Bar-Kays and the Eric Gale band. And I am proud to have him as not only a rock funk monster drummer, but a friend, buddy.
That's awesome.
Everybody in the band, we all love each other. We got when we go on stage, we always pray. We always pray before we go on, and we give it all to love, because we want love to show up, and we want love in people's mind, and we want love going through that audience and rubbing up against folks and giving them a good smile, give them a good reminder of what love is. And the music speaks for itself, and the people respond. It's really great. And I mean, not just because it's mine concert, but these people, my brothers and sisters in Santiago and the surrounding area, they really came, and the love is there. And when you see this much love, it will affect you. It will affect you.
That's, it sounds great. And to me, that's something important in the sense that none of us, we're not 20 years old anymore, right? So if you're not enjoying it, well, I'm not, maybe you are, but I'm not, right? So if you're not enjoying it, having fun and feeling that love, well, at this age, there's really probably not a point in doing it then. You need to have, I would think, that kind of bond with you guys.
That's right, brother.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Now, the new songs, when were those written? Are those in the last couple of years?
Yeah, in the past few years, I did put a couple in there that I pulled out that I had forgotten about, and I cut them in my bedroom, dude, on the computer in my bedroom, but you can't tell.
Right.
So I'm really anxious to hear people's reactions. So far, people that have seen the video, Never and Always, have been sending really good comments, because it's a song that really applies to someone who has gone through what we all have been going through, brother.
Yes, absolutely.
And in a way, it calls to you. It's tender. It's very tender. The video shows real what's going on, in our world. And it's got a good ending. I love that happy ending.
Of course. Absolutely. Oh man. Well, you know what? obviously, we're talking about the DVD. We're talking about the pandemic. You're supposed to have some shows, I think, started in May, if I'm not mistaken. St. Augustine, I think, is your first show in May. Any
Yeah.
news about those shows? Anything that you've heard? Do you know if they're going to go forward with them?
Yeah, we're going forward with them,
Awesome.
and it's with Blue Oyster Cult. So we love playing with those guys. They're great guys. Buck and I have been friends for a long time, and he's a great guitar player and singer.
Awesome. So, you know what? Obviously, I've said this a few times. You've had a long career, right? I think it's 14 top 40 hits, 5 top 10 hits, 30 million albums sold, multiple platinum and gold albums. Why aren't you guys in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Because we don't have that brown ring around our lip.
Oh, that's a great answer.
Yeah. And I always say, we don't bow to that God. If it was fair, if it was by the numbers, and if it was the people's pick, the people's choice, we'd have been there a long time ago, bro.
Right.
But the people have nothing to do with who gets in there, as you can see by who gets in there.
That's true.
And who doesn't.
Right.
I don't like it because it's political. It's very political.
It definitely is.
And so I would love to be in there just for the sake of the fans that want us to be in there, for that purpose only.
Sure.
I don't need to have my name in there to make my life. I've been given a Cherokee Medal of Honor. That means more to me than anything. Seriously, the guys who give you an award or let you in their little hall because they finally got enough pressure and they were forced and pressured into it. Yeah, man, that's all bad. That's all bad energy.
Sure. Absolutely. You mentioned the Cherokee Medal of Honor. For those watching who don't know, just explain what that is.
Well, that's my mother's grandmother was full-blood Cherokee, and I'm an 8th. And because I've been proud of that blood running through my veins and proud of the Cherokee Nation, they brought me out to Tahlequah, and I joined ranks with Crystal Gale, James Earl Jones, Tommy Lee Jones. There's a lot of Cherokee blood in the industry. So to go through the Trail of Tears museum was awesome because it says it the way it happened. And it's episode as you're walking through, you hear and you see the trip that they made and why they lost so many. But it's an essential tool for people to understand the Trail of Tears and the nature of the Cherokee people. Cherokee men esteem their wives to be equal with themselves. Mm-hmm. And to me, this is the only way you can ever make a marriage work outside of force and indebtedness. And I don't want my wife indebted, or I don't want her forced into anything. It has to be the force of love, which is forgiveness, man. It's total forgiveness. Then it works.
Well, clearly that makes it crystal clear for anybody watching and listening why that would be far more important than a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, right? Because at the end of the day, family and love is what's most important in life, right?
Amen, brother.
Yeah. So, when we talk about Grand Funk and the popularity, I live in New York. I'm about 20 minutes or so from Shea Stadium. And a lot of people know, but not as many people as I think as should, how quick and how fast you guys sold out Shea Stadium, which we're talking a 60,000 seat stadium here. This is not like a small little place, right? So talk about that experience.
Yeah, it 55,000 seats.
55. Okay, yeah, I was just going off the top of my head, about 60. Okay, 55,000 seats, which is incredible. You guys sold it out faster than the Beatles, right?
That's right. And the fans camped out on the lawn at Shea Stadium because the only place you could buy tickets was at box office.
Right.
So 55,000 people showed up at that box office. This is before the Ticketron or any of that stuff, brother Mike.
Right.
And for me, as the songwriter of all the songs in the set that night, I just tell you, it humbles me. I'm proud, but I am humble to touch people in such a way they want to come in numbers to unite in song and unite in spirit. And we do.
Right.
We do.
You just said that, and I got goosebumps just thinking about it, right? Because that has to be such a feeling as a songwriter, right? Just to have people singing your songs back to you in that type of numbers, like 55,000 people. That's got to be an incredible feeling as a songwriter.
Absolutely. And Shea Stadium was like a half circle the way it was formed. And so that focus point of the half circle was second base where the stage was set up. And when the people sang, it was overwhelming. It was louder than the PA. That's power. And that's love. That's love.
Absolutely. Now, during that time, the late 60s into the 70s, right? A lot of great guitarists came out during that time. Jimmy Page, Pete Townshend. Do you ever feel like you get enough recognition with your peers for what you've accomplished?
Oh yeah.
Good.
I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. I get by. I can sing and play at the same time. But it was like a self-taught deal. Along with the keyboards and along with harmonica and the other instruments I play, it's just because I wanted to. I felt something from them. So yeah, it's a relationship.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of relationships, as we all know, Grand Funk has continued for the last 20 some odd years, right? And I know Bruce Kulick is one of the guitar players in the band. I grew up a big Kiss fan. Bruce Kulick was in Kiss for years, and I believe you met him, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, we went to rock and roll fantasy camp together. If you check it out, we did Howard Stern, and it was with Kip Winger, Sandy Gennaro on drums. Kip was playing bass. We had Teddy Zigzag on keyboards. We had Mark Slaughter on second guitar, and we had Bruce Kulick on acoustic guitar.
Wow.
And Howard loved it, man. He just really was blown away. But the quality of these musicians that I just mentioned, you could never play anything bad with them.
Right.
Well, it's all good.
I think it says a lot about you as a person that you'd be willing to work, do a performance with the guy who's now in the band, in Bruce Kulick, that is. I think it says a lot about you as a person. Well,
thank you. Yeah, I don't hold anything against Bruce. He's just doing what he does,
right. Right.
And I really, it's the two guys that without them forewarning the audience and saying, well, the guy that wrote 92% of the songs is no longer with us. They just went out and as Grand Funk, and a lot of people that went and saw them and then came and saw me. Some of them said, oh, I saw you last year and over there. I said, nah, that wasn't us. Right. So they don't know. People don't know because they've never been that up close. And I just think it's too bad that it's false advertising, in my opinion, to even if it is 2 out of 3. I don't care about that. It should be honesty. There should be some honesty in that advertisement. But so many bands, there's a lot of bands that go out there that are there's no original members, but they still use the name of the band as if that was what people were going to come and see.
Yep.
I was talking with Gunnar Nelson on a radio. He was doing a guest DJ thing in Cleveland, and he called me and he says, "Mark, man," he said, "I just found something out." He said, "Do you know that there's 126 different groups called the Platters?" I went, "What?"
Wow.
What? He says, "Yeah, one guy owns the trademark and he licenses all these bands to go out as the Platter.
Man.
And he takes a piece of every one of them."
That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's crazy. 120 authorized cover bands is really what that is.
Yeah.
With no disrespect to any of them. I'm sure they're far more talented than I am. But Grand Funk came out of Detroit, right? And so did a lot of other brands. MC5. Flint, right. Oh, sorry. You guys came out of Michigan, is what I meant to say, right? So did MC5, Alice Cooper, Ted Nugent. What was the difference between you and these other bands that came out of the Michigan area?
Well, it's what we listened to as kids coming up, what we felt confident doing. And I always liked to dance. My sister Diana and I would enter dance contests and win. And I always liked the Motown stuff. And so I got, my ears were used to hearing the soulful sound of R&B, and it really ministered to my heart. So it became part of me when I heard Howard Tate, and I tried to emulate some of his style, not all of it, but just enough of it to compliment him and say thanks to him. God rest his soul. He was a great singer.
Absolutely. And now more recently, you worked with Alice Cooper on his newest album, right?
That's right.
Detroit Story. So what was that like for you?
Was awesome, with to work next to Johnny B from the Detroit Wheels. Johnny and I played together in a band in the 80s with Marc Goujon, a 3-piece group. So I was very familiar with his backbeat. And once Johnny B starts laying down the law, man, you can't get out of the groove. It's too deep. Yeah. So, and Wayne Kramer, of course, the great Wayne Kramer, what a great and humble guy he is, a great player, still got the chops and the stories, and he's still got the drive in him, and to hang with Alice he's a very humble guy. I love that he's doing a Detroit tribute. He's giving kudos back to, where he came from. And when I knew it was that, when my manager, Avi Steinman, told me, he's going to be doing this Detroit Stories. He's going to be, doing some early Detroit punk, some East Side Story, and some Susie Quattro. I'm going, oh man, are you kidding me? Sign me up. Sign me up. So it was wonderful to work with him, and to work with Bob Ezrin, the producer.
Incredible producer. Yeah.
What an intense man. What a brother. He's got a deep heart, and he's got a way of doing things, and it comes out right.
Right. It's funny to hear you call him intense, because I've heard that about him. Again, I'm a Kiss fan, and I've heard when he was producing the Destroyer album with Kiss, he'd walk around with a whistle and come on, campus. So it sounds like you're saying he's still like that, like really like intense and really like, in your face, so to speak, in a good way, right?
Yes, in a good way, in a loving way,
right.
But in a loud, loving way.
Right. That's great. Now, also, I guess it's probably about 20 years ago at this point. You could correct my timeline if I'm wrong, but didn't you play with the Ringo Starr All-Star Band also?
Yeah, 1995.
95. So that's 25 years, 26 years ago, right? So what was that like playing with Ringo Starr?
It was great. He's a very humble guy too. And he's just bugged a lot. People ask him for autographs all the time. he can't disguise himself. He could put a ball cap on and some sunglasses. He looks like Ringo with a ball cap and
Right.
sunglasses. And so people are constantly bugging him for his autograph. And I can see, after hanging with him for a while, I can see why he would get bugged so bad, because he's a sensitive human being. I mean, he's not, just taking life easy, or, trying to flaunt his stuff. No, he's a very sensitive guy, and relationship is very important to him. When we flew over to Japan, we did a press conference in Tokyo before we got started. And Ringo was sitting in the middle, up on the podium in the middle, and then down both sides of the table, this long table, was the band. It looked like the Last Supper, it was like,
Uh-huh.
So this gal says to me, she was from a magazine there in Japan, and she comes up, she said, "I would like to ask Mr. Farner a question." And so I stand up at the table and I said, "Yes, well, what can I do for you?" And she said, "I want to know, what is it like playing with Beatle?" And I look over and I point to him. I said, "Honey, Ringo puts his pants on one leg at a time, just like in this room." And he gets up, he stands right up. "Thank you, brother." And he comes and he gives me a big hug, Mike. And I'll tell you, it was a real hug. He really appreciated that, out in front of God and everybody and all these magazines and that was there, the press corps, that I would let him know he's just a guy.
Right. And, I think people sometimes forget that, whether it's him, whether it's you, at the end of the day, we're all the same. Like you said, we all put our pants on one leg at a time. And, I'm sure it's tough on all of you guys at times, with that press in your face and fans in your face. It's got to get tough at times.
Yeah. It does get tough at times, especially if somebody's been drinking and they got real bad breath.
Oh, man. So you played with a Beatle. You opened up for Led Zeppelin also for a couple of shows, and then got booted off the tour. Is that right?
That's right.
What happened?
They couldn't take the pressure. They couldn't take it. We were revving the audience way too much. They couldn't come up to that. They couldn't come up to that energy. But we were 20 years old, dude.
Right. What year was this?
15. Huh?
What year was this that you played a couple of shows? 69.
Yeah.
Amazing.
69. Yeah.
Amazing. And then you also played some shows with Jimi Hendrix, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. Yep. And Jimi Hendrix was in my dressing room when I got off stage at the Fillmore East. And that's when I first met him. It blew me away, because Terry Knight knew that Jimi Hendrix was my guitar god. And when Terry Knight opens the door to my dressing room, and I'm wondering, what the hell is he doing up there? And he never led any place, he always let somebody else lead, but he's leading the way. And he opens the door with this, and I turn and I walk in. Oh my God, here's Jimmy standing there, with his big, nice hat on and this big smile on his face. And I met him, we hugged, and did several shows together after that. Got to know him a little bit, What a great guy. What a humble guy. You would never know that he was Jimi Hendrix when he was off stage.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. We talked about fishing more than we did anything else, and raising a garden and stuff.
That's awesome. So let me think this through. You've sold out Shea Stadium, playing all songs you wrote. You played with a Beatle. You opened for Led Zeppelin. You opened for Jimi Hendrix. You mentioned all those different artists in the 80s you worked with, most recently Alice Cooper from the 70s into the 80s. Is there anything that you haven't accomplished, or anybody you haven't performed with that you're like, that's on my bucket list?
Well, I would like to do some collaborating. I've been writing with Jim Peterick from the Ides of March, and I'm going to be writing with Mark Slaughter, the end of April, after we do the Huckabee show.
Okay.
Mark Slaughter and I are going to be writing together. But I don't have anybody that I just really think, man, we could do something good together. I'm into trying to collaborate with about anybody, because you never know where the next inspiration is going to come from, and the next something that's going to touch somebody's heart. And that's what I want to do with my life. I want to touch hearts. I want to give hope. I want to make sure people stay with a smile on their face, and when they check out, they still got that smile on their face. That's how good love is, man. That's really it.
That's all. And you're putting a smile on my face just hearing you talk about all of this. The stuff that you're going to work on with Mark Slaughter, is that for you, one of your records, one of his records, something you're going to do together? Like,
yeah, we're doing it together, Mike. I've sent him some stuff, and then I sent him just one little thing, and he put it on a computer and just, oh my God, he sent it back to me. I went, wow, this guy is fast. He's fast. He's a great guy. I love him. He's got a great heart, and he's a great player and singer. And I know something good's going to come out of it.
That's awesome. That's exciting. Well, certainly I'm sure the fans on both sides will be looking forward to that. That's a pairing I tell you I wouldn't have expected, but that sounds like a great pairing. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right.
Awesome. One or two more questions, if you don't mind. So you had an autobiography come out in 2001, I think it was. Any thoughts of maybe having a new book come out or writing a new book about your life? Because a lot's happened in the last 20 years.
Yeah, it was an authorized biography,
right?
Not autobiography.
Right.
And I definitely want to do an update and put some stories in, because there's some things that have happened in my life that people would appreciate knowing, and that I have touched the supernatural. I have lived through going through an oak tree that was 4 feet wide, going through it with another person. There's some stories that it'll make you a believer.
Oh man, well, I think definitely the fans would look forward to that. So just, I guess, going back to the new album, From Chile with Love, DVD being released next week. Like we said, you could pre-order on the website. You get signed copies. Anything else that you want your fans to know about the concert, the DVD that's coming out?
No, just that there are some credits on the sleeve, of course, but then when you go to the site, there will be all of the credits in detail. So if anybody wanted to know a little more about the company, Abysmo Films, they can get the detail at my site, markfarner.com.
Awesome. And like you said before, $3 of every sale is going to the Veteran Support Foundation, right?
Yes.
Which is a great cause. That's a great thing that you're doing there. So thank you for that. I think we're all looking forward to it finally coming out next week, Mark. And, what I've seen, what I've heard, it looks great. So I strongly encourage everybody to go out and check it out.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, brother Mike.
Mark, thank you. Thank you for everything, and stay healthy, stay happy. And we look forward to seeing you on the road in a couple of months.
Sounds good, brother. If I don't see you in the future, I'll see you in the pasture.
Sounds great. Take it easy, Mark.
All right, buddy.
All right, later.
Bye.
All righty, there you have it. I'd like to thank Mark for joining me and talking all about the upcoming DVD, From Chile with Love. It was also really cool to hear about his upcoming collaboration with Mark Slaughter. I know the fans will really look forward to that. Thanks a lot, Mark. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below. If you're listening to one of my podcasts, subscribe over there as well. Also, head on over to Facebook and follow my page, The Rock Experience with Mike Brunn, where each and every day we talk about all the rock and roll music that you love. You should also follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you all next time.